So before I get into the nitty-gritty of what we're doing in first grade, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. First off, thanks for those that have filled out the parent surveys, the questionnaires. It's helped us learn about more about your family and your child as well. On the left is a picture of me with my family. I'm the oldest out of 5 kids. I'm Mexican American. My parents are from Mexico. And I was born in San Jose, California, but I grew up in Hermiston, Oregon, and now I live in Spokane, Washington. The picture on the right is my husband, Jared. We've been married for 6 years now. And we met in kind of in high school, but really in college, we became friends, and yeah. So I went to Oregon State University and I got my early child development degree there. In 2011, I graduated. Then in 2014, I went back to school and I got my master's in teaching at the University of Washington. And then for my pastime, some of my hobbies are running, and actually ran cross country and track for Oregon State. I like to bike, and I like to spend time volunteering in the community and doing things with my husband as well. And one of my biggest passions is traveling, and I love to go to different countries when I can. This summer, I went to Armenia, Georgia, and Turkey, and it was amazing, even though, I mean, the times are different, but I was just glad to get out and explore a different place with my husband. I'll be sending out this PowerPoint after the meeting, and on here there's some videos of some of my past travels if you want to take a look and just see the kinds of things that I do when I travel. In terms of teaching, I've had experience. I taught in Chile for 7 months. I taught English there. Then I've taught at Montessori school for a year here in Spokane. I did my student teaching with 4th and 5th grade Spanish immersion in Seattle. And then I taught in Seattle for 3 years with 3rd grade Spanish immersion. And now I'm at the Libby Center, and this is going into my 4th year of teaching at the Libby Center. So now you know a bit about me. Let's go take a look at our classroom. It sucks that we can't do it in person, obviously, but I did a video so you could see how our classroom looks like on the inside. Bienvenidos a nuestro salón. So when they step in, they use these cards to put how they're feeling today, and they could change it throughout the day based on how they feel. Here are the desks, and their groups will be based off of a flag of a Spanish-speaking country. Here's a carpet area, the front of the class, number corner, calendar. It changes every month. This is the reading corner, and also our IB wall, where we will post what they work on via IB. And we have more books in there. Back there is my teacher area. And there's the back of the class, where we will have our word walls, our bridge walls, which is bridging the Spanish and English language together. Our manipulatives are back there, all the art supplies as well, and we also have a sink. And over here, this blue chair is our calm corner. So if students need to calm down, they are welcome to come here. And there's also headphones in there, noise canceling, little fidgets. Back here is our wall of where they put their magnets, and they either go up or down based on if they're on task and working. Then we have some of their journals and items that we work with. And we also have free choice at the end of the days when time allows. And those are some of the free choice items. And we also have some items behind this cabinet. So that's our classroom. We're Spokane's first public language immersion program. It started in 2017 with the inaugural class now being in 4th grade. And we're also an IB candidate school, and we're looking to be authorized this November. And I'll talk more about IB here in a few slides. So in terms of the content allocation, this year in 1st grade, on the English side, they'll be doing language arts, math, and social emotional learning. On the Spanish side, they will be doing language arts, social studies, number corner, handwriting without tears, and social emotional learning. And we also bridge these content areas at the end of every unit between language arts, math and number corner, also the language arts piece, science and social studies. So we take time to also teach the other content in the other language, but the main ones is what you see here in terms of the allocation. And the following year, it's gonna flip-flop. So they'll be getting what they learning in Spanish this year, they're gonna be learning in English in 2nd grade. In terms of the 1st grade goals, our goal is to work on all subject areas in the Spanish language in my classroom. Continue to work on Spanish comprehension. That's the biggest thing in terms of being in 1st grade, and motivate students to speak in Spanish once they're understanding it. The repetition and whatnot, I think they start to be more motivated, and that's one thing that we're working on in 1st grade, and also develop globally minded world citizens using the Spanish language and what we're learning. With speaking, we'll be working on common phrases in the classroom, small group conversation and presentations, and we'll also be using Duolingo, which there'll be more information that comes out, so it could be used at home as well. And with speaking, we're also doing, in terms of the social emotional learning, we use purposeful people within our school district. And these are some of the traits that they look at and they learn about in both English and Spanish. And I also incorporate the ruler. As you saw, they get to plot themselves in the mornings based on how they feel with these little cards. And they learn that like yellow is more like happy, high energy, but pleasant. The red is unpleasant, and high energy would be mad. The blue would be sad, and the green would be calm. But there's other feelings within those spectrums. It's just that those are the main ones that we learned about so far in terms of like feliz, triste, calmado, y enojado, enojada. We're also using Number Corner on the Spanish side in 1st grade. And it is a skill building program. It revolves around the classroom calendar. It changes each month, and we do daily practice with numbers. We also do observations of the calendar. We talk about the numbers of days in school. And there's also a workbook that we use to learn and go over what we're doing in Number Corner as well. And it's between 15 to 20 minutes long, depending on the activities for the day. And the calendar usually has different patterns that it follows, and they need to look out for them, and it helps them with speaking and also the math concepts. For writing, we're going to be practicing on our letters. There are different units that we do in terms of writing, such as narrative, opinion. And then within writing, we also use sentence stems a lot in 1st grade. We practice on our sight words. And the curriculum that we're using for them to work on their penmanship is handwriting without tears. And it's in Spanish, which is awesome. We just focus on them writing their letters neatly. And we started it last week. And if I have them do it, we go over how to write the letters, and then they do it in their books. And then I make sure that they're writing it correctly. If not, I have them redo it, because the big thing in 1st grade is for them to work on the penmanship. For reading, we are using senderos, and we're also doing letter sounds within them. We're doing vowel patterns, and we also do phonics, which is a Haggerty right here. We do that every day. We do the DRA in Spanish, which is reading assessments. And we also work on small groups based on the reading assessments. I group students based on where they're at in their reading levels, and with that, we work in small groups as well. For social studies, we are doing IB and a mixture of Mi Mundo, which is a book that we use. And with IB, the units are who we are, how we express ourselves, how we organize ourselves, where we are in time and place, how the world works, ensuring the planet. And IB, this is some information about IB. It is inclusive. It's based off students and what they want to learn about, collaborative. It's their voice and choice. For example, last year we learned about waste and food waste. We collected food each day and also the waste that we were using. And in the end, I asked them, what do you want to do about it now that you know about what's happening or what? And then they wanted to do a little protest outside of the school, a little march. And they each did signs saying like, let's save our planet, let's use less waste. So that was all on them. And that's a big thing about IB, is letting them decide what action piece they want to take after they learned about what's going on around the world, not only within our city, but also globally as well. And IB has some learner profiles, which are these: knowledgeable, reflective, balanced, principled, communicators, risk takers, caring, open-minded, and thinkers as well. And there's different themes within it, but the main thing is action beyond school walls, is engaging with peers, learning about what's happening, and also bringing it to the homes, like this is what we're doing. And also the community, it's like, how could you help the community be a better place? And IB is all around the world as well. And it's just guiding our young learners. Within the classroom and with IB, I use the Sustainable Development Goals, and here students get to learn about the goals that the UN has. There are 17 goals altogether, and they vote on a goal. They learn about a goal. They do campaigning based on the goal that they want their classmates to vote for. We learn about filling in a ballot because they need to fill it in, and it's like, your parents do this kind of thing when they're 18, let's practice on it now, and they get to vote in the end. Last year, my students voted on goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. So we learned about that, and we did a simulation of like, imagine if in different countries, I told them about my travels in Congo and Rwanda and how kids carry water like most of the day. And we did a simulation, like how did it feel carrying the water for like 5 minutes? Imagine doing it for half a day. 3 years ago, students voted for zero hunger, and we took a field trip to Second Harvest, and then they wanted to take action. So we did donations. We did a whole food drive within our classroom as well. So the main thing with IB and connecting the UN Sustainable Development Goals is them learning that at a young age, they could start to make a difference, and also like stand up for others and learn about the world and how they could change it. Another thing that we do in first grade is we do some gardening, and I got a grant 3 years ago to start a school garden. So we did that, and this year your children got to harvest a carrot, which is really awesome. Just beginning the school year, them getting their own carrot and learning about parts of a carrot. We also go outside and learn about the garden, what we're planting, where it comes from. We do STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And I give them items and I ask them, like, you have these things, what do you want to make out of it? And here are some things that students have made. And then this year I got a grant to get a 3D printer. So we're gonna hopefully get that going. It's kind of hard to get it based on some of the shortages, but we're gonna get going on the 3D printing, which is very exciting because I think that's gonna be something they're very interested in as well. So those are some things that integrate as well in first grade. Some of our specialists, so this year they have music twice a week, PE twice a week, science twice a week, they have art once a week, and library once a week. And these are their teachers. And other information, this year we also have a K1 teacher team support. So teacher Yesi works with both the kindergarten and our first grade classroom, and she just supports us with students that need a little bit more support. She does small groups, and she's awesome. She was actually my student teacher last year, and we're so excited to have her. We will also have a student teacher, and she's going to be going by Miss Yami, and she's going to Eastern Washington, and she'll be working in our classroom. She's going to be in tomorrow, and we'll gradually go into full-time student teaching. So we're excited about that too. In the classroom, we have incentives and we do character bucks, character dollars. And here are some of the things that they could buy using their character dollars. And we have gave out the little plastic baggies to use for them. And we also do this chart right here. Everyone starts at the green, which is ready to learn. They could either move up, which is a good day. In the green, when they're ready to learn, they have all their free choice time. If they move up, they have all their free choice time and 3 character bucks. If they move to the pink, they have all their free choice time, 3 character bucks, and contact with the family. But if they go down, they lose 2 minutes of free choice time in the yellow. They lose 5 minutes of free choice time in the orange. And then in the red, we contact parents and they lose all their free choice time. So overall, that's what we do in first grade. We would love to have parent volunteers, but right now we're still getting the guidelines with the COVID, but hopefully down the road we could have some volunteers. But it's been amazing working with your children so far and getting to learn more about them. Are there any, let me get back to the main screen. Are there any questions you have or anything that you want to go over? You could unmute yourselves. No, yes.
How is the overall Spanish comprehension with the students in class right now?
Some of them, we don't have as many native speakers as we've had in the past, but a lot of them do comprehend, especially with repetition and guiding them and going over, and also having other students help their peers as well. I think the biggest thing in the beginning is like, whoa, this is like, again, I'm going back into the Spanish classroom. Some of them had the summer slide, like, oh, I got 3 months off of Spanish kind of thing. So, but once they're into it, they start to get it and get the routines of what we do in class and the calendar and all of that stuff. So, and the cool thing is, like, even if we get new students at this age, they catch up if they're motivated to be in the classroom. Last year we had 2 new students, and by the end they were with like side by side with their peers who had already been in the program in kindergarten. Just as long as they're trying and they're listening and they're doing their work, they catch up and they do amazingly well as well.
Cool.
Any other questions? Or are we done for the day? I don't know if I went too fast. Hola, Merrick. Hola, Maya. This is going to be the most they've heard me speak English. So yeah, which is so weird. They're like, she speaks English. Cool. Well, I mean, if there's no other questions, definitely feel free to email me or email Miss Nicole. We're very excited to have you all be a part of our classroom this year, and it's going to be a great year. We're going to make it through, and yeah, so let us know. And it was awesome seeing all of you come to the open house. So I appreciate you taking the time to do this.